Sounds good.
Welcome to another podcast. I am the CraftyYarnista, and I'm happy to record this week's knitting updates. So, if you follow along, last weekend I was on the virtual knitting getaway from Melissa Leapman, which focused on the UK. And in our last episode, I shared the unboxing of the goodies. The event itself was really well done. I enjoyed it. It is pretty intense in terms of, I think there are 3 or 4 presentations each day of about 2 hours in length. They are recorded if you can't make them all, or if you want to go back and listen to something again. We had Woolly Wormhead, Frank Habit, Shetland knitters. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely sign up for another one of those experiences again. Something that came out of that UK weekend experience, one of the goodies was some yarn, Little Crazy Sexy Wool by Wool and the Gang. And I needed a project for the plane when I had a business trip this week. And so I just made a simple little 2x2 rib cowl that'll go in the charity donation pile. It is a very nice, soft yarn. It is not plied, though. So just as a FYI, but for something like this, it was a nice cozy yarn. My knitting is progressing right along. I've been working on the painted glass shawl. I am at the end doing a bind off. This has taken me quite a bit longer than I anticipated. Originally, the pattern calls for you to make points for each of the diamonds across the width of the shawl. I started on that last night. I did not like how it looked. You do that with the main color only. So whereas these diamonds have your contrast color in it, the tips of this was just going to be your solid yarn without the orange highlights in it, in my case. I didn't like that. And I thought from a practicality standpoint, I also didn't want a whole bunch of points across the bottom back of my shawl. So I ripped that out and decided that I would do an applied I-cord border instead. I tried doing, I got it cast on a little bit and tried using my different I-cord tools. It looked very different than when I was doing it by hand, and I did not like the look. So I'm going to complete the I-cord by hand across it. I know some people don't really like to do it, but I find it really just an easy, I don't have to think about, no-brainer type of knitting. Great for a call or TV watching, and right now I just kind of need something like that. So I will be finishing the I-cord border by hand. I'm excited to get this off the needles so I can get something else cast on. I was inspired by watching the Shetland UK knitters last weekend, and to the point where I ordered myself a Shetland knitting belt. So if you don't know, Shetland knitters typically use long, 14-inch or so long double-pointed needles, and one of them is suspended in a belt under their typically right side. And so they can just work at the tips of the needles. Finding those needles, however, has been a bit of a struggle. And I have ordered some from China. I don't think that the tips look to be as pointy as I'm interested in I have one or two others coming in from some various places I could find online. But then I did read that HiyaHiya makes their interchangeable needles, but then they also make extenders so that in essence you can take your double point needles and make long single point, or you can take your interchangeable needles and make them instead of a cable, a long metal needle, which you want to use for this and the Shetland knitting belt because the wood would have more of a tendency to break given the weight that it's supporting. So I ordered myself a small set of the HiyaHiya circular needles, and I'm waiting for my extenders to arrive. They were quite difficult to find in the small size, but the HiyaHiyas come in a nice little case. I had not seen that before. The back is where you can store your cables. There's a little pouch in front here too, and then like a Velcro protection for your needle ends where the screws are. They have nice tips. So I'm actually pretty excited to just try them as a circular needle before the extenders arrive and my belt arrives from Shawl. It also comes with some little cable connectors so you can lengthen your cables, and a very cute little needle gauge. I thought that was really cute. So that's what I have on order. And then I have been, as I said, buying a little bit of yarn, I think, to deal with stresses in the world. And one of the things that I saw when I was out perusing was a fun little mystery knit along called Only Yarn in the Building. I signed up to do it. It looks that we will be making a rectangular shawl. There you need 4 colors of fingering weight yarn, 400 yards each. I enjoy mysteries, and I have watched Only Murders in the Building, which is the inspiration for this knit along. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it starts like the 21st of February. So if you're interested, the pattern is 25% off right now. And there are a number of specially dyed yarn kits. I did look at one. I really enjoyed the colors from Miss Babs. However, Stephen and Penelope also had a sale, 15% off, and actually the shipping from Miss Babs in the U.S. was $12 or $14, and shipping from Amsterdam was $22. So that, coupled with the sale, 50% off everything in their store, I did go ahead and purchase yarn for this MKAL from Stephen and Penelope. I think that's about it for this week's updates. Thank you for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next episode.
Sounds good.